With that being said, our next game Saturday at 12 p.m., number 20 Clemson versus unranked Pittsburgh. Now, let's go over this a little bit. ESPN FPI has Clemson with a 69% chance to win this game, and the spread being Clemson by 10. Let's go over this a little bit because I think we're all looking at this game and going, I don't know. All right, so Clemson starts off the season and nobody has faith in them after the first game. I mean, first half it was like, oh wow, okay, we have a chance. Second half, Georgia just said, you know what, move. So Clemson being demolished 34-3. Me myself had no faith in the team after that, but they did end up being one of the top offenses in college football for a solid 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games. But here's the issue. The defense. At first we thought, well, they're putting in their backups of the backups. Well, then we came to playing Virginia. And then it was, okay, there's an issue. But eventually we got it to where the backups of the backups were in towards the end of the game. And then Louisville came. Let me tell you, I don't typically have no faith in Clemson at a night game at Clemson, but going into that game, something felt off. And you know what? It was off. Clemson lost to Louisville. We didn't even lose to Louisville with Lamar Jackson, but we lost to Louisville. It wasn't necessarily because our defense didn't play. Granted, they gave up 33 points, but you know the Louisville defense who could not stop a freaking drive against Miami to win the game. Yeah, they held us to 21 points. So what happened to one of the top offenses in college football? And then struggling against Virginia Tech at Virginia Tech, yes. Now Pittsburgh. Oh, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh looking like a really confident team, possible ACC championship contender, until they just recently dropped 2 games in a row to SMU, which is a solid loss. And then Virginia with a controversial 4th and 1 call that they got a redo because the referees weren't ready. Whoa. Now, we're going into individuals here. Cade Klubnik, arguably still one of the better quarterbacks in the college football league right now. 24 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and 2,275 yards. Yes, Mason, that is 4 interceptions, not 4D like Carson Beck. Pittsburgh. Sorry,
but
just wrong.
Are you wrong though?
Now,
if you guys are wondering where my head is with this Georgia football team, I'm here. That's right where I am.
Mason, this is going to make you a little more sad because Eli Holstein on Pittsburgh, freshman quarterback.
Holstein is a dog. I've been saying it all year.
Freshman quarterback, 17 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, not 6D, and 2,174 yards. Now, why am I talking about this? Well, this isn't necessarily a battle of the quarterbacks because at the end of the day, we know both quarterbacks are going to show up. I mean, even in a bad game against Virginia Tech, Cade Klubnik went out and threw 3 touchdown passes against Virginia Tech. Here's the thing. Will the defenses show up? We know that when a wonderful player named Desmond Reed, and if you don't know him, a fellow Western Carolina Catamount transferred to Pittsburgh. When he does not perform well on the ground, Pittsburgh does not perform well overall. All right. So let's look at this a little bit. Desmond Reed, 145 yards rushing, 148 yards rushing the first 2 games. He drops off against West Virginia. Scary game against West Virginia. And then, he's kind of quiet against Youngstown State because he's not really playing. North Carolina, 155 receiving yards from Desmond Reed. Desmond Reed, the next game against California, has 120 rushing yards. The past 3 games, even here, the next 2 games, Syracuse and SMU, Desmond Reed could not hit 50 yards rushing. Against Virginia, he hit 80. but that was it. So when Desmond Reed is not performing, Pittsburgh's offense seems to stall out. So it really comes down to whose defense can stall out the offense. So with that being said, Isaac, good luck, buddy.
So I'll say this. Given Eli Holstein's performance on my dynasty when he transferred to LSU as a 5-star transfer in the portal, I like Pitt in this one. But this is not me on the controller. This is for real. This game is at Pitt. I know Clemson only beat Virginia Tech by 10 this past week, but yeah, I'm going to have to go with the Tigers in this one. I don't know they'll cover. I think maybe a touchdown. Might be a 10-point win. It'll be close, but I do think they will beat Pitt. I think Pitt got absolutely throttled by Southern Methodist the other week, and I mean now they dropped out of the rankings. I think Clemson is hanging on for a shot in the ACC race, and I think they're going to take it out on Pitt on Saturday at noon. So yeah, give me the Tigers on Saturday. The other ones, Mr. Cheeto, that is.
Boy, this one is this one's really tough. I think I don't know about you guys, but this is actually a really tough one. I was looking at it. The last time Pitt and Clemson played, it was actually played in Pittsburgh, and Pitt ended up winning. Now that was, to be fair, that was when DJ Uiagalelei was still quarterback. But will history repeat itself here? That's the thing I don't know. I think Joey makes a really good point. I think you do have two really good defenses. I think it's going to come down to offense, and I think it's going to come down to the run defense. Honestly, if Clemson can stop Desmond Reed, that takes away the pass, even though Eli Holstein is a dog. But Pitt gets dropped out of the rankings. They have 2 losses now. Clemson still sitting at 2 losses. I really want to pick Pitt, but I'm gonna have to go with Clemson. I think Pitt can definitely win this game with a spread of 10 points. I'm gonna pick Clemson, but I'm gonna have Pitt to cover the spread. So give me Clemson by 6. I'm gonna say 6. I think this is gonna be like 31-24. That's what I see, or 21. Yeah, 30-24, something like that. That's what I got.
So you already know I'm going to be picking Clemson, but I will tell you this. Clemson has shown that when it's a legitimate team, and yes, I include Virginia Tech in that conversation, they have their struggles. I will also say, I still remember the day in 2016, playoff hopes alive, and Clemson let Pittsburgh in and lost. But we still made the playoffs that year. But it was a tough game, and I will never forget that. And something tells me that this could be one of those moments where Clemson's still in the ACC running, but Pitt could come in and ruin all of that. But I still got my Tigers in this one. Hopefully it's not a close one. Hopefully we kind of demolish them like we have been the past few years until DJ decided to ruin our team just like the other teams he touched. So yeah,
you literally have not. He is bad luck everywhere he goes.